Welcome to another episode of Hard Lessons with Demel Hannah. I am your host, Demel Hannah. You know, the most important, the person I disappointed the most was my mother. Me and my mother, why I felt that way. When I was locked up. I felt that in the county. That went away later as, I did these years. But in the county, because my mother, she was mad at me. She was mad at me because I had signed a false confession. She was mad at me. She was. You know what I mean? Because she like, what happened? And I'm like, man, they fucked me up. You know what I mean? They choked me out. You know what I'm saying? They fucked me up. They tortured me. They took all my clothes. I was in a cold ass room, handcuffed, I just wanted to get the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm saying? I did. You know what I mean? I just wanted to get the fuck up out of there. And that shit happens. And I'm not saying, a person signing a false confession is something it's casual. It's not, but it happens so damn much. That's why they made the damn documentary about how they see us, Ava DuVernay. You know what I mean? It happens, especially in Chicago, man. You know what I mean? They have brutalized guys so badly that they've made them confess to, crimes, horrific crimes that sent them to death row in Chicago. I promise you. They've been doing that so much here, man. They did that. I couldn't believe it when I went to the joint until I got to talking to guys, and guys got to telling me that they signed a false confession. They did that. This homicide detective. So, you know what I mean? I was still, because I was a tough guy, so I used to be mad at myself. I used to be mad at myself, man. I used to tell myself, man, you should have made him kill you. I did. I used to be pissed off at myself, man. It took me years to really get over that, because I'm like, man, you done been fucked up before, man. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck you goddamn sign that shit, man? You know what I mean? Like, that was some shit that I really, that shit drove me wild for a long time, man. That shit drove me wild for a long time, man. The reality of me signing some shit that I, did not do. And I had to come to terms with that reality that I sent myself to prison, so to speak, even though I had nothing to do with the shit. Even though they fucked me up, even though they put me through some torture, I had to really accept that I played a role in my own incarceration just to be able to get past that reality. Like, the shit used to fucking eat me alive, man. You know what I mean? I used to be so angry at myself. Like, a lot of times I went to segregation in prison. You know what I mean? Was because I was so fucking pissed off at myself. I was mad as fucking myself, man. Man, I was pissed off because I'm like, man, nigga, you a street nigga. You know what I mean? But when I went to the penitentiary and I found out that the shit, it's normal. It's normal, man. And that's what makes the system so sickening. That if you can talk to 10, 20, 30, 40 guys in prison and say that they all signed false confessions, that makes the system sickening. So that's another thing. But yeah, in the county, my mother, she came and seen me. She came and seen me a lot. She was at all my court. You know what I mean? She was in communication with my attorney. I had a public defender. I didn't have no damn money. You know what I'm saying? I was a little confident that he was going to do me right because he was a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is real. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is real, man. I'm a black kid, man, fighting for his life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done heard all these rap songs and shit. You know what I mean? About public defenders and just how the system. I done grew up on hip hop. I know the system ain't shit. I know if you ain't got no money, you ain't got no chance. You know what I mean? So I got a black public defender. He a public defender, but he a black man. I'm thinking like, damn, maybe I got a chance, right? But you know, my OG, man, my OG, she was very you know, my OG, she was very very helpful. You know what I mean? Very helpful, man, and giving me just wisdom and game. You know, while I was in the county, she tried to save me a few times though. Like you know, she had called up to the county. This is a mother still trying to look out for her baby. And she had them put me on the fucking Christian wing. The Christian wing was like on A, it was somewhere on A pod. It might was on lower A or upper A. But I wish I would have stayed on that motherfucking hen site, but I was tough. I ain't want to be down there. So I got them, I'm like, why the fuck y'all put me down here? They like, your mother say, you know, some people was messing with you. I'm like, ain't nobody fucking with me. Man, get me the fuck up off this motherfucker. Because I wanted to be a gangster. I wanted to be tough. And in hindsight, I wish I would have stayed on that motherfucking Christian wing. You know, a lot of guys that went down there, man, they beat their fucking murders and shit. I promise you. I promise you. And down there on them Christian wings, they used to get a lot of fucking incentives and shit. Visits, physical visits. My stupid ass trying to be tough, man. You know what I mean? But, you know, my mother in the county, they used to let, you know, your loved ones bring you a big towel, 3 t-shirts, 3 pair of drawers, some socks, and some shoes. You only could get that shit. You can get the towels and the t-shirts once and thermals and shit like that. You can get that. I think you only can get that once a month. And you could get shoes, I think, every 90 days or something. County used to be like that. It used to be what guys used to say was sweet. Because, you know, you can get any motherfucking shoes you want. You know what I'm saying? Any motherfucking shoes. And them shoes gave you status in the county. Shoes gave you status. I came in that bitch with some brand new patent leather Jordans. You know, back in, Jordan had just came out with the patent, no. These weren't patent leather. This was 97 though. They was slick though. 97. You know what I'm saying? I came in the county with some Jordan. You know what I mean? Then I think my mother brought me some shoes. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, your shoes gave you status. It did. You know, it did. It was like being in high school, so to speak. When we was in high school, you know, your shoes gave you status. So in the county, your shoes gave you status. That's all you got. And if you can get some weed in, shit like that, you know what I mean? You know, they gave you status. They gave you importance. They gave you prestige. It did. You know what I mean? So my mother, you know, I had those necessities. I had clean t-shirts and stuff like that. You know, she would give me money. You know, my girlfriend particularly, like one of them, she sent me money. I had other girlfriends, they would write me, send me pictures, but one of them, you know, and that one particularly, she became my wife. You know what I mean? For real talk. You know, the one, she always was a little more extra. You know, I promise you, even when we were kids in the county, that was my girl. She found me too. I'm gonna talk to you about her. I'm gonna talk all about her. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk all about her. But my mother, you know, she sent me books. My mother sent me this thick ass fucking like academic book. It had everything up in there, man. Every fucking thing. Language arts, mathematics, social studies, science. It had everything up in that motherfucker. I kept that bitch all the way until, you know, they sent me to the penitentiary. It had everything up in that motherfucker. But you know, my mother, man, my mother is the reason. You know, she the reason why I fought, you know, the way I did, you know, and how I did on everything. She the reason why I fought. I'm gonna talk about that. She the reason why I fought the way I did and how I did.